My dad was an auto mechanic. He worked on everything, fixed everything. And that's probably where I, at least initially, got my love for cars. Growing up in my house was literally awesome and crazy at the same time. 4 brothers, so 5 boys all together. Mom was, it's like the combination of Mother Teresa and Mike Tyson. So just picture that, and that was Mom. I was 10, my youngest brother David was, I think, almost 2. And that's when Dad left. He was gone physically, he was gone financially, he didn't help out, and he wasn't present at all. We didn't see him. But Mom had to work, Mom had to do a lot of things, so I was the 10, 11-year-old babysitter in addition to that. You know, you go from a 10-year-old kid who's sad because his dad's not around to now I'm mad at him. And my dad never met his father. And in some ways, well-intended as it was, my mom almost used that as a way to help, I don't know if again I'd say defend, but almost justify and explain his actions, that, you know, that was his father, therefore this is him. And I thought, I'm not gonna be the next line in that generation. I'm not gonna be the next father or husband in that generational kind of that lineage. I'm just not gonna do that. You know, when Angie and I started dating, we dated young, 17, 18 years old. Angie and I dated in this car 40 plus years ago. Got married by the time we were 19. I remember finding out that we were having a baby at 20. And I just knew, like before he's born, I'm gonna be at his Little League game. I'm gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And same thing with my daughters. I knew whether they played sports, I was gonna be there. And I just knew that if nothing else, I'm gonna figure out how to do that. I felt like I learned something from Uncle Pat, my Uncle Jerry, my Uncle Jim, from Mr. Carver, these guys who were just really good, strong role models. And Jim was a guy who, you know, passionately in love with Jesus, but also just a guy's guy, and just showed me, at least, that you could be both, because I didn't always think you could when it came to your faith. My father-in-law, Joe, I always tell people I knew him longer and closer than my dad, because I met him at 17 years old, and until he just recently passed, I mean, he was my father. But just a strong, strong guy, and also a guy that would just say, love you. And I didn't, you know, never think twice about it, just who he was. But yeah, I'm so happy and proud when I look at my kids, and I look at my son, and just the best father that I've ever known. And so yeah, I see that, and I feel good that I think we've already broke that generational line. But ultimately, I absolutely owe this to God, to the relationship that I eventually was able to build there, to the countless answered prayers. 100%, it's 100%, it's all God. This car, for instance, has scratches and dents and dings and rust and all the coolest things in the world, because it's part of this car, and I wouldn't change that for anything. And I think it's the same way the scars of losing my dad at a young age, they remind you, and they're part of who you are, and they're part of how you grew, whether it's as a father or even as a believer. And so yeah, like my car, I love my scars. Sorry, that's cheesy, isn't it? That's bad. That just came out. I didn't make that up, honest.
I love it though. You can't script things.
No, I know. That's bad though.